two crucial things that I learned in my martial arts practice, other than the skill, was about breathing, coordinating the breath, and the hara, the center. Everything is from the center, right? So the reason for the breathing especially, because I was quite surprised when I started learning martial arts, Kung Fu, when I was, say, 16 years old, that mindfulness and the meditation, the breathing part of it was integral to martial arts. So why? I later on realized that it's about emotional control. It's to prevent me from going to a place of fear. So, for instance, if I walked into a tournament later on, I was doing tournaments, the training was to stay inward in my breath. Don't look around, stay inward, because if you look around, you might see an opponent who's bigger than you, looking meaner than you, get psyched out and get scared. So the breath then becomes your best friend in situations like that to keep fear away. So fear is a very important emotion for all of us. If we didn't have the emotion of fear, we won't be here right now. We'd have walked in front of a saber-toothed tiger 200,000 years ago. So it's a crucial emotion, but at the same time, fear also can debilitate us. It can victimize us if we don't think about it, if we don't think critically about it, and put the emotion of fear as it arises in me in perspective. Now, now I played three sports in my life, and I love those sports. And one was cricket. And cricket, as benign as it is, especially when you're batting, the bowler is coming at you, sending that ball at about 80 miles an hour. And if it's the leather ball, uh, there is trepidation, there is fear, and to add to that, the wicket keeper and the other fielders want to intimidate you to take your focus away. So the fear is what they're trying to instill in you to take your focus away from the ball. So for me, that mindfulness practice that I learned in martial arts too, and even before that, became a great ally, because I would just then, I see this big guy bowling at me, I just go into my breath and take a few breaths and not focus on the bowler, but the ball itself. And that helped me to stay relaxed and calm rather than getting stiff when you get into a place of fear. The other sport was rugby. I love rugby, and I played in a position of flanker. And and if you go into a place of fear with rugby, you're in trouble. So I played in Canada in a high school called Victoria Park, and I was one of the smallest players in the team. So Mr. Nigel Toy, our New Zealand coach, taught me a few tricks. He said, "Lefty, go with your shoulder in, go low, and you can tackle anybody, any size," he told me. And I remember a game against York Mills Collegiate in North York, and they were our rivals. And as we came in, there was this guy with a Mohican. He was about a foot taller than me. I thought he's going to be my target. I realized that he was going to be playing in a position in what's called the backs, a fly half, fast runner, and gets the ball and run. And I played in a great position called wing forward, a flank, where I had the freedom to break away and go after him. So I went into my breath and I focused on him, and I thought, I got to get my fear out. And I had the skill, and I remember when the scrum off broke away and took the ball away. I broke away from the scrum and I went for this guy. And one of the things that I did was to make sure that I used the skill of the shoulder, and I brought him down. So it took my fear away after I did that tackle. So the rest of the game was okay. So why is mindfulness important then? So the meditation practice and the mindfulness practice is so important. So whenever fear arises in me, how do I immediately take a deep breath and say observe, and then put it in perspective rather than go into that place of fear, which will then put me at a disadvantage. So yes, fear is important, but then we need to learn to put it into perspective by thinking critically about it.